In this CBT techniques video, we're going to be going over the technique of defining our terms. And this skill is within the family of reality testing and evaluation. So with this skill, what you're doing is you're moving from the thoughts a person's having and the feelings the person is having, and you're now trying to define what's on the table. Imagine a client comes in and they're saying that they feel like a failure. They just had a meeting with their boss, and their boss said that they needed to have a conversation later to review some of the things that they've been producing in their written work, and to give them some pointers. So that experience that the client's coming in with, or anything like it, oftentimes the client's going to be too general. I'm a failure. This is horrible. I can't believe I'm such an idiot. There's going to be a lot of generalization. And in evaluating, what we need to be able to do is to be able to define our terms. What does it mean to be a failure? What does it mean to be an idiot? What are the exact definitions here? And once we're able to outline that, we can then double back and say, okay, well, once we have an honest, an accurate, a fair definition of idiot that would be universal, that would apply in all situations, well, okay, we can double back and say, well, okay, now that we, someone who has an IQ below 80 is someone who would be an idiot, somebody who can't effectively learn skills at a normal pace. Okay, well, that's our definition of idiot. Okay, well, is this an example of a situation where it would be fair to use that label idiot? And what you're doing here is you're decoupling the oppressive, painful thoughts, the fears of being an idiot, with the reality. No, that's not being an idiot at all. It looks like the boss actually wants to, based on our definition, doesn't think you're an idiot at all. And in this point in treatment, you can actually pose other possibilities. Well, maybe they think a lot about you. Maybe the boss here is willing to invest his time in developing your skills further. There must be something there worth developing. In using this skill, by defining our terms, we're demanding the client to take more seriously the way he speaks about himself and the situations that are going on around him. Generalization is very powerful. If everything's a catastrophe, if everything is hopeless, if the client thinks of him or herself as a complete and utter idiot, well, there's not much room there. That's failure, no matter however you slice it. And rarely is life that way. And so generalization, at its core, denies a client from being able to generate and come up with the solutions to the real problems they're facing. And let's face it, life is filled with problems. There's no question about it. But it's rare for any problem to be so hopeless or so black and white that nothing can be done. And it's quite often that through overgeneralization, the problem we're seeing, this massive mountain, is really not that big, and is something they have the skills to overcome already. So common problems with this technique is the client insisting on their definition. So something like, I am an idiot. That's how I feel. I feel like an idiot, and that's it. That sort of response can happen. So as the clinician, you're going to want to remain persistent and insist that there needs to be common language between you and the client to be able to discuss issues like this. Again, what does it mean to be an idiot? What are some examples of the idea of idiocy? Do you know anybody who's an idiot? What's the dictionary definition of idiot? Is that the sort of thing that they use in court? You're really trying to, again, push the client to limit the generalization so you can start having a conversation about it, to then go to the next step and say, right, okay, well, that's what we've defined. Again, an idiot is someone with a low IQ and is someone who's nearly impossible to train. That's a fair definition. Does that match you? Is it almost impossible in your life, in other areas, to train? Well, what is your IQ? And by whittling away at this generalization, you're going to be able to decouple the feelings and thoughts uh, with the experience that's being described. And you can almost, in a certain sense, use the experience itself to disprove the thoughts and feelings. Well, in that situation, it seemed like, you were being able to carry on a pretty complex conversation. And even though you had to sit with your boss and work out these issues, it seems like you managed to learn whatever it was he wanted you to get. So how exactly are you an idiot? Does that match the definition of idiot that we set up? It's okay to have a problem, that's fine, but let's be accurate with what the problem is, because then we have a better shot of solving it. So those are some challenges you can run into, and some possible responses you can then use to massage that one. I hope this video was helpful. If you like it, go ahead and give it a like and share it with your friends. If you want to send me a message, you can do so in the comment box or shoot me an email. And if you want to support my work, you can check out my Patreon account. See you in the next video.